Okay, so before we even get started here, I know you all have name tags now, so I'm going to explain. I know everyone has been asking about this, go and stop. Okay, so if you're a non-voting member, you do not have a name tag yet. I apologize for that. But so the stop and go. So tonight or any night when there is a debate or discussion. We will run a thing called stack. So there will be 3 columns of people who want to talk and say something. So to put your name up on that list, you will put the green go sign up and hold it up, and then I will add your name to the stack. And if someone already makes your point so that we can cut back on repetitiveness during discussion, you'll hold up the red sign, and then I'll put your name off the stack. Does anyone have any questions about it?
And we may have some time for debate today. I mean, we're expecting it, but I don't have things to say now. But we can explain the debate rules and stuff a little bit more once it comes time. Okay. Are there any students to speak out this evening? Okay, great. And then if you can just say your first and last name and then what your year is, and then you have 2 minutes to talk. You can go first.
Okay.
No, you can just stand up whenever you want.
Okay, hello everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Matthew Thomas, and I'm here tonight to speak with you as a student about an issue I'm very passionate about. I'm a senior. So tonight you'll see a bill condemning House Bill 658, a bill that would require government employed supervisors of minors to notify all of the child's parents / guardians if they hold knowledge that a child under their care could be exploiting their gender identity and non-binary. I know that the sponsors of the bill will inform you of the bill specifics and reach that point in the agenda, but I wanted to use my time to share with you my experience as a transgender teacher. So I was the first person in my high school to come out. Last still in high school, I'm transgender. My school's administration had never had to deal with accommodating a trans kid before. No idea how to deal with me. And I still had to use all of the facilities attributed with my gender at birth, my sex at birth. So I was using the restroom, the locker room, I was on the tennis team. I really hated that. Like, it didn't negatively impact my life in a lasting, meaningful way. So I'm lucky, but there's a lot of people who, when they come out, their parents don't. So, if this bill passes, there will be many young people who will be adversely affected. Forcing out in this situation can be very dangerous. Individuals know what's best for them, and if someone is exploring their gender identity, it's important to let them decide who they are. So to me, this is the first violation of the rights of individuals who already do not have a lot of political rights according to them. They don't have the same agency that minors have. I think minors should be protected from legislation like this that takes away their ability to decide for themselves when or if to come out to their parents. This legislation would move on to another benefit, force outing to strain on family relationships, and nobody can know what interferences with personal lives of a family will do to the relationships between the members of that family. So it's up to the child to engage the parents in that conversation in a meaningful and intentional way, 2018-19-01, which condemns House Bill 658.
Thank you so much, Matt. We really appreciate it.
Hi everyone, my name is Kate Randall. I used to be a student senate member myself. I'm a senior here. I prepared 3 minutes because I thought I had 3 minutes, so kind of sorry. And I'm just going to run through it, all right? So it's going to be kind of quick.
How do you spell your last name? I'm sorry.
Randall. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so sorry. I'm here to talk about an issue I'm really passionate about, which is mental health on campus. Dear Student Senate, I am average. I have average grades, an average upbringing, average friends, and average life. I was raised in a happy middle-class family. We were comfortable. My parents are still together, and I have 2 incredible older siblings. By all means, I have no right to be depressed. Yet here we are. It is hard to put depression into words. How do you describe the soul-crushing loneliness to someone with carefree friendships? Our generation and the one that follows us have the highest rates of mental illness of any generation before. Maybe it's because of the insane pressure we put on our youth to be beautiful, successful, intelligent, social, political, and activist, emotional, but not too emotional. It is stressful to balance, and most often something falls apart, and sometimes it's you. I asked my general practitioner from where I live about depression, and we decided that medication was the right path for me. She said that when I returned to school for this fall, I should seek counseling or therapy at my school's resources, CPS. Like many students, I went to CPS because of the free services. I went the first day of school, Monday, before noon, during drop-in hours. I did the initial intake forms, the computer questionnaire, and met with the counselor about my options. After pressuring me to allow them to film my sessions, refusing to sign this increases your waiting time to see someone, they said I will be matched with a counselor soon. I received an email a week and a half later stating that I was matched with a male graduate counselor and student, or counselor in training. The first appointment availability was a week and a half after that. It took me from the first day of school to the Friday of week 3 to see someone for my depression. The inability to provide the prompter attention is literally going against doctors' orders. The lack of funding and the availability of professionals means that OU is directly threatening my health and well-being. I find this absolutely ridiculous for one of the largest universities in Ohio. We can do better. We need more fully trained staff. It should not take a student 3 weeks to see a low-level counselor and more than a month to see a psychiatrist. A lot can happen in that amount of time for a depressed person. I know budgeting is tight, but isn't it always? When will we decide to make this a priority? Why are we gambling with students' health? We claim that mental health is just as important as physical health, yet we tuck CPS in one of the worst buildings on campus and employ unqualified individuals to treat our students. Ohio State is currently at a crossroads with this very same issue. They've had multiple suicides on campus and are just now taking action. Do we really want to wait and see what happens with us? I implore you, Student Senate, to work for the students who spend too much time in their beds, unable to breathe a day. The students who break down at the sight of a C- because the thoughts of failure flash through their head. The students who harm their own campus just to feel. We need more funding towards CPS to hire more trained, qualified therapists to meet the growing demand at CPS. We cannot wait. We must act now. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kate. And I don't know if you want to give our your email address, just in case anyone is interested in reaching out to Kate, following up about this issue in the next couple of weeks. Thank you so much. Thank you both for coming and doing that. We really appreciate that. Are there any other students to speak out this evening? Okay, we're going to move on to announcements then. Are there any announcements this evening from the body?
So so I'm trying to pursue that right now. Next week, we will be having the outreach with the city planning office. The city planner Paul Lowe has met with us, Alicia, myself, and John, some other senators in regards to getting student feedback and input on the Athens Comprehensive Plan for Athens 2040 vision. And so next week there will be 2 outreach events. On Wednesday, September 26th from 11 to 4, and Thursday, September 27th from 11 to 4 outside of the courthouse. We will be there at the city planner's office. If anyone would like to join us, you're welcome to hang out. Please come and give us feedback on just general areas of concern. We'll probably have a map or some interactive format in which you can pin areas that you guard or things like that. And also the things that you would like to see Athens preserved. I don't like more details on that. I can put time to that.
Could you also send that to me?
Are there any other announcements this evening? Yes, Commissioner Summer.
Next Monday, September 20th. Next Monday, September 24th, beginning at 5 o'clock, Below will have an event called Pizza in the Voting Booth. This event celebrates the Jewish holiday of Sukkot, as well as pre-National Voter Registration Day. Please share and stop by for some free pizza.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Hawes.
Okay, so if any of you are freshman women or know a freshman woman, tell them to apply for the Marketplace College program. I'll probably bring this up in the application, but I love it so much. So, or ask me about it if you want to know more about it.
You know when applications close?
It's
October 9th.
it's October 9th.
Thank you. Any other announcements this evening?
So today was the Open Ohio Forum in Baker. I'm just going to read a quick snippet of it. I know I have a few seconds just for this announcement. So Open Ohio provides a place for meaningful conversations. There's a lot happening, but sometimes it is good to slow down and spend some time and dialogue about the things that matter. Basically, it's just a way for you to have conversations with people you don't even know. You're allowed to write notes either on this piece of paper that they put on the table or on a separate sheet of paper. This way, the person in charge can. Sarah Davis, she's an administrator at this university. Jenny Hall-Gibbons, she's a faculty member. I'm sorry, yeah, she's a faculty member. She's great. Yeah, so I went to it today. It was a pretty great thing. The website is ohio.edu/OpenOhio. Ohio. So yeah, it was a really cool event. I'm sorry, I wanted to read the whole thing. It's going to be on the meeting minutes, so please read it. Also, my final announcement is please check your email for the most recent crime alert today. That's kind of disappointing, but thankfully for reports.
Any other announcements this evening? Okay, then we are going to move on to our presentation for the night, and it is going to be our. So he's going to be talking a little bit. You can come up. He's going to be talking a little bit about his idea for a small business committee, and I will let him.
What is up, everybody? I am extremely nervous. So I'm just going to make this really informal and we're all going to have time. So, just click the button. Oh. All right. So, as many of you have probably already heard, because I won't stop talking about it, I've been kind of working on creating a new committee in the Student Senate for the past, honestly, since about June. Really, the catalyst of all this was seeing when Starbucks is now opening a branch of, a branch of their business uptown in Athens. This made me think we as students then should really be doing something to represent local businesses, local entrepreneurs, to try to help them to honestly even the playing field. We get a lot of newcomers to the Athens community every year who it takes a really long time for them to learn and understand all of the great products that we have in Athens. They go straight to the name brand things they recognize. So what I'd like to do in as a member of Student Senate is start this committee. And this is basically what the committee is about. So the first question is, what is it? So basically, the Small Business Committee will be the spearhead of Senate's outreach in the local Athens community working one-on-one with local businesses to bring benefits to students while also supporting local entrepreneurs and businesses. So basically all that says is, I'd like to, make a committee in which the senators are going out and meeting individually with local business owners to see what we can do to help them, what they can do to help students as far as prices and just in general help students, and then how we can create more of a community between the two. I think this is something that would bring vast benefits, and if you'd like to talk to me after, I can talk to you for about 30 minutes on all the benefits I think this could have. So that's basically what the committee is all about. So how it would work is kind of just what I said. Senators on the Small Business Committee would go out, they would meet individually with local business owners, really creating a one-on-one relationship with these owners and seeing what Student Senate can do to help them. That could include doing events with them, maybe on Wednesdays, you can fill in the blanks, but I'm saying, we maybe do events with them, maybe do, just advertising, things like that, but also what they can do to help students, possibly in promotional deals, things like that. That's, obviously one-on-one negotiation. I can't fill in all the blanks of all of the things that could be possibility from this. But that's how it's going to work. There also would be an application. Now the senators on this committee would be going out to the local businesses that they're choosing, but we're also going to have an application for businesses to apply to be, in on this action, you know what I'm saying? So they can have someone come out and reach out to them as well. So that's basically how the committee will work. And then finally, who will be on this committee? Small Business Committee will be, just a member. It's going to take time. If you're going to be on this committee, it's going to be a time commitment. Nothing more than we as student senators already know about. There's plenty of time commitment, but we're going to be putting in time, putting in hours, meeting with local business owners, and we're really just looking for people who are ready to go out in the community and be active and try to see what to really on the ground on everyday little needs, see what they can do to help students. And that's they can come from any commission, any background whatsoever. We're going to be taking in applications, and I really look forward to doing interviews with everybody. So if you're interested in having interviews, things like that, this is how you can get involved. We're going to be putting an application up soon. You guys, as soon as it's ready, I'm sure you guys will know about it, and you guys can apply. Then we'll be having interviews. I'll be conducting the interviews, and then like I said, it's going to be a time commitment. But it's honestly, I think the benefits of this are massive, and I think it would be well worth the time that we're going to be putting into it. So, if anyone has any questions, I'd love to field those.
Is the committee exclusive to only established small businesses in Athens, or can it be students who have went out and started their own businesses? I know a couple of girls who hair bundle things or whatever on campus.
Absolutely.
Would you be able to connect with them as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So my vision for this committee, and obviously this stuff, it's not even a committee yet, so my vision doesn't really mean all that much. But my vision for the committee is just, basically the senators who already are passionate about certain individual businesses or already have a connection with those businesses will be able to come to the leadership team of the committee and say, hey, I want to work with this business, and we can talk about it. And so that could include already established businesses or student-owned businesses, which I think is an even better idea as well. Or maybe, but because not only are we helping the Athens community, but especially helping students within the Athens community to grow their businesses and to really just encourage that competition that makes it keeps all the prices low, and it also just brings us really great products as well. So that's a great question. Yeah, Parker. Yeah, yes, sir. You guys sit that side by side. Parker, please.
I was wondering, use a small business committee. Is it going to be a committee or a commission? What will be the structure?
Great question. It will be a committee, as I've already talked about the executive team. So this means that people from other commissions can join this as well. So that you're kind of adding to your schedule. If you're hypothetically an off-campus commissioner and you'd like to be a member of this committee, you can apply and do both at the same time. Now, obviously, it would be expected that you'd be able to maintain both. But we're all very passionate, driven individuals. I'm sure people who apply for this would be more than capable of doing so. So yeah, great question.
If I could actually just insert to answer that question as well. I don't know if anyone remembers last year, but for example, the Sustainable Life Committee was something that was a cross-commission collaboration, our favorite thing to talk about, Triple C. But it was something that had
yeah, I couldn't agree more with that sentiment because, small businesses in the advocacy community aren't just particular to one commission or one, jurisdiction as far as the student senate commissions go. So I really love the idea of getting everyone involved and getting multiple perspectives, because, just there's strength in diversity, especially in diversity of thought. So this would be, that's why I love it being a committee, and getting everyone involved. So that's cool. Yeah,
Hi,
sorry.
guys.
Well, I'll get your next question.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Okay. My name's Courtney. So you talked a lot about benefits and how great these benefits are, but have you completed any qualitative or quantitative research to prove that there are benefits? And if so, what benefits do you have for businesses and students?
I'm sorry, you said the last part.
It's okay. It's a really good question. So what are the so have you completed any research that proves that there are benefits to this?
Well, so, I mean, I have not formally done any research, but, we could just use basic economic principles of, competition will always lead to lower prices, and especially supporting small businesses. These small businesses make up a vast portion of the, of a lot of the business that goes on in that. I mean, just think about all of the, the times you go to Big Mama's or you go to the Donkey Kong or something like that. I mean, these businesses affect many students across the Athens community and in the student community as well. So, I mean, working to improve these businesses and give them some kind of, even playing field with these larger corporations and chains that come in. It just makes sense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But no, yeah, to answer your question, I've not done any formal research, but.
That's all right. So with that though, so are we, will this committee pretty much be solely exclusive then to, because Walmart's a big brand, Kroger's a big brand, but we never really discussed, I feel like that this discussion didn't really come about until Starbucks really came in, but we still sold Starbucks coffee prior to corporate start coming in.
Yeah.
And while I'm not discrediting anything at all,
Right.
that some coffee shops would appreciate that leverage.
Yeah.
I suppose, what is the big idea of this? Because we talked about, you did discuss, the benefits, like you said. You didn't really discuss, a plan or anything to kind of, is it just, are you just trying to, gain footing, see kind of, what people feel about it and all that, or?
No, I'm mostly trying to, I guess the big plan of the committee would be that the senators on the committee would go out and, I don't mean to speak, I don't mean to repeat myself, but to, establish relationships with the local business owners, so that we could, probably do events with these local businesses and things like that, so that, we could, a lot of times, a lot of local businesses suffer from name recognition. They suffer from competition with the more well-known chains. So the idea being to raise awareness for these businesses, things like that, and I guess that's a lot of the big plan as far as the businesses go. Now, as far as on the student end, that's going to be a lot more individualistic as far as in the individual relationships with the businesses to see what kind of benefits we can bring students. And the main focus of this is, I've talked a lot about the benefits to the businesses because I think that's one of the point that needs to be sold a little more. But I mean, the benefits to the students are vast. I think the idea being that, the main focus of this committee, as far as at the end of the day, would be to see what we can do to help students. And I think it's in the best interest of students to help the small businesses as well. I think that there's a direct correlation between helping small businesses and helping students as well.
Okay, but we just haven't figured out where that is.
What's up?
We just haven't figured out where or what that is, so it's just kind of.
Well, I mean, this idea is, the committee is not even a committee yet, but I mean, it's kind of in its infancy, but to say, basically, we have pretty good ideas that, we're gonna go out to the local business, not just coffee shops though as well. I mean, there's a ton of restaurants. There's also, other small businesses that aren't coffee shops or restaurants that can also benefit from this as well. So that's the route we're wanting to go and just establish relationships. But, yeah.
We have time for 2 more questions.
2 more questions. I promise you.
My question is, I completely agree that, trying to support small business is great. What if, say a larger scale company like Starbucks, be willing to work with students, possibly help benefit them or have programs or events and things like that that support the students as well. Would this committee be completely against working with them because they're not, considered to be a small business entirely or local so much?
Short answer is complete. I mean, that it's in the name of the committee. It's small business committee. So the idea of being, I don't think that especially the large chains, really need the advantage of a student senate committee to also further their interests. They do it. They have phenomenal outreach. They have neighbor recognition. They have a lot of benefits going for them. And there's a lot of, they already kind of have a leg up on the small businesses because of a lot of those things. So the idea of the committee is to kind of balance the playing field, is to try to work with local small businesses. Mostly just because I think those are the people who benefit a lot more from it. I mean, the bigger chains, they might be able to offer a little better promotional deals and stuff like that because they got such large, budgets and things like that. But I think long term, especially building a relationship between the student senate and the Athens community, especially the local small businesses, I think that really, I think that's the direction we should go. So that's the idea behind it.
This working out weird. So this isn't really a question. This is just a compliment. First of all, I think your idea is really great, man. I know that it's not like anti-big business. You're just trying to shout out Athens businesses. So I don't think you're going against any corporation that exists. I just think you're trying to shout out local businesses. And I'm in the Shea Sales Center, and we already have this kind of idea in place. We have Shea Sell Cards, which gives discounts to a bunch of local businesses, but some of them are also big chains. So this idea has proven to work because it raises money for the Shea, and it gives students discounts to all businesses in Athens. But I think your idea, by centralizing only local businesses, by making it just shop local, I think it pretty much extrapolates on Shea's existing idea and makes it even better. So we can raise money for Senate, so it's mutually beneficial for us and other students, and it's a committee that I love to be a part of. So.
And to add on to that really quickly add on that. I think it benefits students, and not only in terms of fundraising, but I think it really benefits students in terms of notoriety. If we're going out and meeting local small businesses and really doing events with them and stuff like that, and we can put Senate's name on them, that really helps student senate in terms of the way the public perceives it as well. It's really we really put ourselves out there and show that some of the benefits that we're bringing out to the community as well. So the great point. That was the question.
I'm sorry, we're gonna have to cut off here, but it sounds like there's a lot of really great, exciting feedback on this. How about, can you talk to Grant about it? Yeah, so I really encourage all of you to actually reach out to Grant about this, make suggestions if you have ideas of how you think that it can be better improved, or if there's another idea that you think that you could be adding into it as well. But also, Grant is going to be opening up those applications soon here. It sounds like there's a lot of interest, so I would definitely follow up with him, reach out, have those conversations. So thank you, Grant. Okay, and now we are going to watch football. President Stewart, Vice President Burke, Treasurer Ramla, Commissioner Weeks,
President.
Senator Kashaw, Senator Korean, Senator Newhart, Senator Atfield, Senator Shaver, Senator Moore, present. Senator Kraus,
Present.
Commissioner Jones,
Present.
Senator Gibson, present. Senator Allouie, Senator Martin, present. Commissioner Wilson, proxy. Commissioner Slosher,
Present.
Commissioner Afuni, present. Senator Ramla, Commissioner Neff, present. Senator Sweeney,
Present.
Senator Charam, present. Commissioner Zimmerman,
Present.
Senator Rayner, present. Commissioner Smith,
Present.
Senator Chaplin, present. Senator Jones,
Present.
Senator Levon, present. Senator Adams,
Present.
Senator Fierce,
Present.
Commissioner Arnold,
Present.
Commissioner Gravis,
Present.
Senator Carmen,
Present.
Senator Soto Diaz, Senator Conrad Sweeney,
Present.
Commissioner Holtcamp, Senator Baker, Senator Levine,
Present.
Senator Shopway, Senator Rideout, Senator Brewer, Senator Suzanne, Senator Deering,
Present.
Commissioner Thomas, Senator Kramer, Foxy, Senator Hurd,
Present.
Commissioner Ayers, Senator Williams,
Present.
Senator McAdams,
Present.
Clerk of Court Milham,
Oh, I'm sorry, it's not me.
Thank you, Chief of Staff. Okay, we're going to move on to additions to the agenda. Are there any additions to the agenda?
Motion to add Senate Resolution 18-23. Second.
Okay. All those in favor of adding resolution 18-19-23, a resolution to appoint a senator to the Resident Select Commission, please raise your hand. All those opposed, abstentions, one abstention, and resolution is added. Okay, all those in favor of approving the previous meeting minutes, please raise your hand. All those opposed, abstentions. Okay, and now we are now going to move on to old business. And there is none tonight, so we'll move on to new business. Okay. First up, we have Senate bill, our first bill of the year, 1901, a bill to condemn House Bill 658, whereas the bill, primary sponsor, Commissioner Neff.
Okay, so, this bill, as was spoken about earlier, is about condemning House Bill, 658, which is very discriminatory to trans youth. It would make it a fourth-degree felony for a government agent or entity to purposely or knowingly authorize any. It would make it a fourth-degree felony for anyone to. Sorry, let me restart. So this bill, the main component of it is that if a child who's trans or expressing any symptoms of gender dysphoria or is having any questioning with gender, that whoever is watching them or who's in charge of them would have to provide a written note to both of their parents. This forces the outing of the child, which is incredibly dangerous and also can hurt the long-term development of the child's mental health. It also betrays the trust between the person who would have to tell the parents and the child. And then, of course, it also brings up gender as a problem, getting his notes sent home. It makes it sound like gender questioning is something wrong, which is not good for the child. It also would make it a fourth-degree felony if a government agent provided treatment for gender dysphoria without contacting the parents. This could mean counseling. So if a trans person is questioning and they want to talk to someone about it, they might not be able to. It also uses really incorrect language about gender dysphoria that is not up to date with how we see it in the community. And then also the way that gender dysphoria is worded in the bill, it could mean anyone who's dressing non-traditionally, which is a danger to anyone who might not want to dress exactly how it is traditional. So I urge you to vote yes on this bill to provide safety to all trans youth. And I reserve the balance of my time.
Thank you, Commissioner Neff. We're gonna move on to secondary sponsors, Senator Sweeney.
So yes, as Commissioner Neff said, this is very dangerous for trans youth. You can't be forced out, and definitely because you don't know how the trans are going to react. People have been killed for being trans. This year alone, I forget the number, but it's already high. And this is already a very vulnerable population, young teenagers who are just finding themselves. And we know that this directly does affect college life because how you're raised and what you do when you're younger does have a big impact on your college life. And if you have this big population of children who are at risk, even more than they already have to be, we already know that's going to affect your college life. If you want to understand why we're bringing this up in the Senate, but just on a personal level, I think that's wrong to do that to the children because it does put them at risk, but it also does have the real tangible, visible effect later on in life. And as a public institution, we're here to make sure that availability and prosper and dignity is to everyone, and this counteracts that whole notion. So I think that's why we do. And just on a personal note, like to thank all the people who helped with this bill, because we didn't quite know how to make a bill. And then like Commissioner Schlosser, Assistant Chief of Staff Paredes, Commissioner Holtkamp, Senator Jarma, and Vice Commissioner Frioli, a lot of us did come together and make this bill something tangible. I think it's really beautiful and it's working together.
Thank you, Senator Sweeney. Commissioner Schlosser.
So, like some of the stuff that's already been said, I think that this bill is kind of a violation of rights of privacy for a child. I think that by having a teacher or public employee who is in supervision of a child to know about their gender dysphoria treatment is a violation of, in my opinion, their rights as a patient. Because you wouldn't have a teacher know exactly what blood type they're student. That's kind of their own personal business. I don't think the child will know what type they are. So, big thing for me is I'm looking at the bill right now, House Bill 658. It would make it a fourth-degree felony for anybody in this section, such as a public employee, to give gender dysphoria treatment without parental consent to be a fourth-degree felony. Meaning, if a child puts on a skirt at daycare, that can be seen as them, experimenting with gender. Which I think that the government should not be regulating whether a toddler is putting on a skirt. I think that is kind of wrong. The argument of this bill kind of shows kind of supporting a child's right to explore gender dysphoria treatment. I was going to balance my time.
Assistant Chief of Staff Paredes.
Yes, so first of all, before I share my comments, because of all the other projects that I've been involved with, the Senate, unfortunately, I wasn't able to dedicate as much time as I would have liked to on this bill. I would like to really give thanks and appreciation to the primary sponsor and the secondary sponsors. They did a phenomenal job on this bill, and it really showcases their hard work and dedication to anti-discrimination policy. But on my comments on the bill itself, House Bill 658, plain and simple, is just discriminatory in every sense of the word. And if we really want state policies that really are equality among all, to support the Senate. I reserve the balance.
Thank you, Assistant Chief of Staff Paredes. Commissioner Holtkamp.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it short. I just want to emphasize what Matt said is that kids should be able to come out and want to come out, and that's what this comes down to. You shouldn't be forced to come out to your family or anything else if you don't want to.
Senator Farrar.
I think that the House Bill 658 is a big issue because in such a developed and privileged country like America, the right to get a education safely should be, and just focus on your education should be a privilege for every child growing up. And if this bill, House Bill 658, is passed, and that's not going to be something that is possible for a lot of children because
suddenly you're thinking more and more about what you're wearing, and will focus on what's important, and that's your education. Instead, you're focusing on something that is completely irrelevant to every single person except for you, your gender and sexuality. And that's all I have to say. I reserve the balance of my time. Thank you.
Thank you. And then our last secondary sponsor is Waste Management Facility, but I'm not positive if she is here. Okay, so we are going to move on to time for discussion. If there is any debate on this, we're going to have a minute is allocated for speaking if you have a comment, and then 30 seconds to how to respond if you want to respond to someone else's comment. And we're going to limit debate to 15 minutes total. And then Alicia and Lydia will be running stack and we'll be taking notes. I do encourage if someone has made a point that you were going to make, please refrain from making repetitive points. We really want to keep on track and remain efficient. So you can have those conversations if you really want to emphasize something outside of the meeting. So with that being said, is there any discussion on this bill this evening? Senator Chapman.
I just have a question. Is our bill to condemn the entire House bill, like in its entirety, or the specific sections mentioned in our bill?
The whole house.
Yeah. That's,
Thank you, Senator Thomas.
yeah.
Are there any other discussion on this?
So anyone that's in Senate last year, especially the last couple of weeks when it find some like abortion bill, pending an abortion bill, I'm probably about to say, hopefully my message is a little more refined. And I want to say I support entirely the contents of this. It's very admirable. Obviously, this is something deeply personal to numerous people in the room and a lot of students here at Ohio University and our surrounding community. And it is something that very directly affects us and that community as students. And I really appreciate the personal stories that have been shared by yourself and Matt. I mean, it's a tense topic, of course. But it's an area where like I said last year, I think it's an area where it's not necessarily Senate's role to be condemning bills that are occurring in the State House, and that is something that most people in here, probably almost everyone, maybe disagrees with me on. I mean, Government Affairs Commissioner Jalen, that's his thing. He disagrees with me. I shared that position with Liana before the meeting. Unfortunately, I not attend any of. She did a great job of publicizing. They've been working on this bill. I did not have the opportunity to go share that position beforehand. I shared that with her prior to this meeting, and there's a number of reasons for that. I'm out of time. I can continue that discussion. Time is continuing.
Can you wrap it up in like a couple of minutes?
You know, and ask just mainly because I think there are better ways to actually understand
John.
Commissioner Slosher.
So the Senate has taken stances on tons of bills in the past. They've done marches in the past, around national events. They've done, they've spoken out against all sorts of national events. Also, since this is a State House bill, this is specifically Bureau of Affairs' job is to monitor State House bills, whether they pertain to our constituency or not. Senate should be tuned into what's happening around the state because it doesn't affect like my life personally. It still affects somebody who I know. So I feel very passionate about this, and we will be taking stances that might be fighting the good fight. I don't think I should sit down because I know that I might not affect something. I think that we should still take stands because it's the right thing to do. I reserve the balance of my time.
Commissioner Holtcamp.
Yeah, I just kind of want to say that, like, and what purpose specifically, I think you kind of answered your own, like, you kind of just reviewed what you said, because you said, like, this affects people on this campus, like, you understand why we're doing this, so, quite frankly, I don't get why you think it's a bad thing that we would have this bill, same with the abortion issue, there are people on this campus who want abortions, there are trans people on this campus who don't want to be outed to their parents. Like, we're advocating for either ourselves or for people who are our constituents, like for those of us like myself and we represent all students. And so for that reason, John said, I don't see any issue in advocating for
Commissioner Thomas.
Yeah, so, like I said, echo what everyone else has said, I do think that we're able to have these stances. I recall last year, because it made me angry, that you suggested that perhaps we, you want to be more,
I know.
the word, programming, and oriented, if you want to act on this. I would just prefer if you share these opinions not at the 11th hour every time you bring up the bill. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, and you're entirely right, and like I said, that's on me. I should have known. And I think more, and it didn't sound like earlier, I just listed a bunch of reasons to support it. I didn't actually list the reasons I was against it. And that is that in the past, the Senate has, I think we have not fully discussed what our role should be in these areas of governmental affairs. In the past, there have been Senates, I mean, I don't want to always bring this up, like the Meghan Markle story, where Senate became very political, and that was really bad things ended up happening. I'm not saying, like, that's the logical extreme of what's going to happen, but I do think I like the idea of the forum.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so that was a direct response, so just so we're clear, that was what a direct response is for 30 seconds, so back on the stack if you wanna have the full, just speak again.
Assistant Chief of Staff Paredes.
Yeah, so the second part of my comment is a logistical thing. The first thing I want to say is that I do recognize where Parker is coming from. I think it is important that we try to not go to an extreme where we become what's the word I'm looking for? Unrespected institution that dumps buckets of blood on their head.
Which is the Meghan Markle. So
that is an extreme. However, even though I'm not voting because the person I was proxying for did show up, hashtag Jordan Zimmerman. So even though I can't vote, I will say that I want to vote yes on this. Now, the second thing that I want to go to, Destiny Sharam is your name?
Chara.
Chara. I can pause. I want to make sure that we know what the actual pronunciation of your name is. So, Chara.
Yeah, jar with like a J, like jar.
Chara. Okay. So it says in the bill that you are listed as an LGBTQA plus commissioner. What is your exact title? And I'm going to make a movement to amend. So are you a vice commissioner on the commission?
I'm a senator.
So you're a senator?
Yeah.
Okay, so should we move to amend it, or is that something that I'll take? After debate, I'm going to move to amend. Everyone's about
Senator Kraus.
Again, I'll keep it pretty short. I will say that it's very important to get involved in legislation like this because it becomes a stepping stone to even worse problems. Like in Texas, currently if a minor is gender dysphoric, they put them on hormone suppression medication, which is extremely dangerous to a child's development, let alone long-term cancer risk, endocrine problems, just all across the board, dangerous in general. And these are students that, minors that are going to potentially be OU graduates in the future. So taking action on this kind of stuff that will affect future generations is the kind of thing that we probably should be involved in to ensure that those student safety is taken care of in every step of the way.
Commissioner Smith.
I think more broadly, I guess my points in all these passages are that I think we need to more fully flesh out what our relation and our role in commenting on government policy should be. I mean, we could sit in the office all day long and condemn really shitty government policy, quite frankly. Right? I mean, we could. But I guess I'm worried that in the future, that is something that could happen. And perhaps somewhere in the rules, and like we said last semester, the idea of having forums. The way we did the forum, sexual assault and everything, I think was awesome. I think similar type of programs or educational programs or lectures where we share this information with the students more broadly before we comment on these could be good. That's something that I should have introduced as a rule and brought to the attention. Quite frankly, I have 3 jobs and I'm trying to write a thesis, and this is the thing I should be devoting the least amount of time to, but I try to do what I can. In the future, I will try to do it.
Commissioner Neff.
So I wanted to mention that I think that we should formally address what role we have as Senate, so we can address this discrepancy. And then the other thing that I want, potential treatment like blockers, hormone blockers are completely reversible and add no harm to the individuals who take them.
Is there anyone?
Oh.
I have a question about the bill, because I haven't been able to read the bill 658. Does it affect health professionals as well? Like, do they have to tell the parents if they're helping too? Well, then, on that point, I believe that it's very important for this bill. I don't know this bill either, because it can detriment the health of the patient that comes to us in mental health state, and it can also harm themselves. It makes them less likely to seek health advice from the standpoint, especially with blockers, starting their conversation with it. So that's all.
Is there any other discussion on this bill? If not, it would be
Just a quick one. I just want to say, if anyone disagrees with me or would like to follow up and ask me about that, have a discussion about my position, or at all feel disrespect by what I've said, I apologize. I would urge you to please comment on top of that.
Move to add friendly amendment to the fifth secondary sponsor to Life and Destiny for Senator Durham. I'm sorry, Jaram, sorry. True position, which is LGBTQA plus.
Okay.
Move the vote.
All right, all those in favor of voting with friendly amendment on Senate Bill 1819-01?
Wait, are we voting on the amendment or voting to add the amendment, then voting with the?
Oh, yes, we're at.
Voting
So
to
voting
add
to
the-
add.
the amendment, yes.
So make that clear. So there's a difference, when you
Yeah.
vote. Cool. Sorry.
Okay, motion to add friendly amendment to Senate Bill 1819-01, please raise your hand. All those opposed, abstentions, okay, so the friendly amendment is added. So now, all those in favor of, voting with friendly amendment on Senate Bill 1819-01, please raise your hand. All those opposed, abstentions? No, 2 abstentions. All right, bill passes. Congratulations. Okay. We are now going to move on to our budget resolution, Senate Resolution 1819-22, a resolution to elect a speaker for the International Affairs Commission. Whereas, we have second. Okay, primary sponsor, Commissioner Clark.
Yeah, this checked out through the budget committee. It is for an event for the International Affairs Commission. It has to do with a guest speaker. Upon reviewing the budget application, the committee reports that it's met all the criteria outlined for approval. And I yield my time to Commissioner McKee.
But yeah, so, me and my lovely vice commissioner Senator are here, but, they both have questions this time. They're fabulous. Just saying, it's fine. Anyway, yeah, so we worked really hard, with getting the speaker. We kept it as cost efficient as we could. We kept it local. We found out that GoGo's has, like, energy emissions, so we never had one of those, but we ticked off that box here. And yeah, I'll talk more about the like. Other than that, I reserved on, it's been a while. I reserved on my time.
Okay, secondary sponsor, Senator Griffin.
Yeah, everything checks out.
Is there any discussion on the bill? Amal, would you like to explain actually like what the speaker is? And so people know.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say this for my part, but yeah. So, the speaker, he's from Sweden. So like a little background, so I'm from Palestine, which is like in the Middle East. I don't know how to explain it. It's next to Jordan, which is next to like Saudi. If you don't know what map, it's really hard to explain. Anyway, so he's from Sweden, and he's just like he's a really cool dude, like just a Swedish living. And then, so one of his friends, is like where I'm from. So where we're going from, there's like a little war. For a while. Yeah, it's been going on. So there's actors on both sides, obviously.
And his name is Benjamin Ladra, and he's an like a Palestinian activist. And so just kind of after learning about what was going on, I would say it was like a midlife crisis, literally. He just quit his job and walked from Sweden to Palestine, like through Europe, like, you know, you can go through like borders like by foot technically. So he walked the whole thing, and then he tried to go in, he didn't get in, and he came back to the US, or came back to Sweden, and he's in the US just like touring. So I figured it'd be nice to bring Gio and like hear about his experiences and everything, and like how he got there. Like, I'm really curious. And from his pictures, he had like a trolley, like a baby trolley, like. So I'm curious how he did that. And yeah, we partnered. We were really lucky to partner with the Center for Logistics and Culture. And so I think we're still trying to figure it out since it's so last minute. They might provide like a pizza meet and greet with him, which would be so cool. And yeah, so that's the event. It's on Tuesday, the 25th in Baker 240 from 5 to like 6:45, 7. From 6:45 is my chapter is nice. But other than that, yeah, it's super cool that we're super excited. If you can come, please do. It's a great dialogue, great time, super cool dude. And yeah, it's cool here. That's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Uni. Is there any debate on this budget resolution? Seeing none, is there a motion on the floor? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to vote on resolution 18/1922. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Abstentions? There are two abstentions? Okay. Okay, and then we're going to move on to our final resolution for the evening. Senate Resolution 18/1923, a resolution to appoint a senator to the Residence Life Commission, whereas. Okay, primary sponsor, Commissioner Travis.
Yeah, so Justin is here. And I interviewed him the other day, and he had a lot of really cool ideas and good things to bring to our commission. So I hope that we will vote.
Thank you. Secondary sponsor, Vice President Burke.
So Hunter, great interview with Justin, and he's going to be a great addition to the commission.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? Okay, it's been moved and seconded to vote on Senate Resolution 18/1923. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Abstentions? Resolution passes. Okay, so we are going to move on to our commission reports now. And I know Vice President Burke had let you all know who would be speaking tonight, so if you want to call.
All right, so we didn't speak last week. We should be updating the body this week.
So yeah, our commission, like I said, I have an awesome commission. I'm just gonna fluff them out a little bit. One of my lovely senators is here, Maxine, super diligent, so just a little shout out to them. So yeah, what we're doing this year, we've done a lot actually in a short period of time. Right now, we have that event going on, so if you can come, it's super cool. I'll let everyone know about the pizza thing. And then that was so that's our first project. Hopefully it goes well. And then we met with the Women's Center about Monday. We met with them Monday. Sorry. We met on Monday, and so on March 26th is International Women's Day. And so they've always had an event where we have dancers and speakers, but they changed this year to an exhibit in Baker, so they're taking up the whole Baker ballroom and like making an exhibit, which is super cool. And so we met with them, and we're like doing an exhibit for them, and we're helping them out, like we're doing both. But our exhibit is hopefully going to be a photo series of international student leaders. But we're not just focusing on like international, we're also doing heritage, because I always think it's like important to also celebrate your heritage. So we're doing like prominent female student leaders, and that kind of, so super excited that we're gonna help. We're also starting this
this event. So I'm part of another organization called Global Ambassadors. It's a division of like admissions. And we work with prospective international students, and we didn't really realize how much we like didn't focus on international student athletes. And OU has a lot. Like OU has wow. Like I met 2 girls from Finland the other day, a girl from New Zealand, I know a guy from like Armenia, Brazil, like there's a lot of them. And they often feel overlooked as I learned. And so something we're planning, actually meeting with Emily right after this meeting to talk about, so you're learning about it right now. And we want to partner with Emily and the other organization in to basically have like an international student athlete intramural. And basically like have it against domestic student athletes and like a fun game, just to kind of like get to know each other, hear what their concerns are as international student athletes that we missed out on, like when we overlooked them. So we're super excited about that. We're trying to do that ASAP because of weather. I don't go to Ohio, it gets cold. So we're trying to get that done, hopefully in the next like 2.5 to 3 weeks, which weather's probably gonna go back before that, but let's hope. But other than that, talk about that's pretty much what we have up and coming. We're super excited. Like I said, I have an awesome commission, and if you ever want to program with us, we keep thinking of things every single day, and we love working with people. Not just incentive, if you're part of other organizations, we love to like partner. Other than that, that's our part. It's been so long.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So, I think, last Thursday, we had, we hosted the forum on what we can do at sexual assault. And, we were there for like 9.5 hours, and we had I would say we had around 20 people come up and talk to us, and they would stay for like a while, so it was like a lot more engagement than it sounds like. And it was, very enlightening. We had a couple people come up with like really like tangible ideas. Some people just wanted to share their experiences. And if you have any questions about what people said to me, we also had someone from the community with really compelling remarks. So if anybody wants to, anybody wants to come ask me like about that, I'll talk about it. I don't know if I want to share people's personal stories from the body, but if you're interested in talking about it, because we have the papers in the office.
So like Nancy said, my commission was at the forum as well. But we also last week met with culinary services. And so I was going to give a brief rundown of what they said. So on the to-go boxes, they are not going as well as we would hoped. They had 3,200 compostable boxes used and only 2,000 reusable. So they're trying to expand that, and they hope that as the semester goes on, people will start to use the reusable ones more. They also wanted me to encourage everyone to use reusable bags at all of the markets in Grab and Go, because if you use a reusable bag, you get 5 cents off of whatever you use. So they're really trying to push that. They gave away reusable bags to all of the dorms, but there was some, I would say, confusion with that, and they weren't given out to students. So that's something that we're going to look into. They're also cutting back on straws. They removed them from latitude 39, and they're looking for other places that they can remove them from. They're also running a temporary meal plan donation system. So this will run next week, from the September 30th to October 6th. And students can donate up to 3 meals to kind of a pool. And then from that pool, those meals will be donated to students who need them, and that's decided by Culinary Services Administration. It's kind of their trial run, and they're going to see how that goes. And they're doing it that week specifically because it's reading day, so they think that students will have extra swipes that week that they can donate. Other than that, we talked to them about Grab and Go. They're pretty firm in their position right now, but we're gonna keep at it. That's my report.
Quick information is the meal banks that when everybody swipes during reading week, if they want to give their free meals, actually goes to the student's office. So Kathy Ball, who's our new assistant dean, who's working with food pantry and basic needs. So if students have hunger needs and they come and talk to the student's office, we're the ones that will give folks the meals from not culinary themselves. Culinary is helping us get the meals into the food bank, but we're the ones that are going to be helping students access the food. And they've already donated 50 to get us started for the year. So that's another thing. Another point of research. Good job, Jason.
Yeah, so again, my position was that forum, it went really well. We're going to have a conversation about where we go from here before we bring it to the forum. Additionally, myself and Rachel, my sorority community senator, and I met with Chrissy Harness, who's the head of sorority community life, and we had a really productive conversation about how Senate can better partner with sorority community life, because just in the past, we've had trouble with keeping someone in that position for a long time. So some of the things we touched on are like suicide and mental health, drugs, sexual assault, especially in regards to the whole and stuff, and how they feel about that. In regards to mental health, that's kind of the theme for the like issue we found out, which is really awesome. And then soon too, we're gonna try and touch on how people who transfer here, who don't have like a chapter here at OU, how they can possibly be involved in bigger life events such as like Greek Week. Because I've gotten feedback like from Rachel that she her chapter is not here and she misses being involved in that community. So if there's a possible way to like get them involved in everything that's going on. Those are kind of like two big things we have going on, and then also of course sexual assault, Greek life.
My report is very small, but we're slowly trying to build the commission. But right now, we're kind of waiting to talk to Dean Willen and continue getting to know him to an extent and try to form connections with regional branches to try and build kind of like a link to me, so that way, hopefully, when we have a connection with the student senate and regional branches, finding out, of course, first who still has one. This year's been a little off. Let's do who still has one this year. But once we figure that out, hopefully they'll be able to connect with me, and I'll be able to get their word to you guys here during these meetings. And still just kind of waiting on talking to Dean Willen. After we do that, hopefully things will speed up a lot.
We have a lot of little initiatives going on. One big thing along with the other commissions, one initiative that we are focusing on is student safety. To this point, a survey was pushed out on social media this afternoon which asks the student body about the crime alert emails. Please share that with your constituents and encourage them to provide feedback.
Do any of the other commissioners, even if you have any additional? All right, if not, we're going to move on to Senate committee reports, and chief of staff is Lenny Morris is going to talk about.
So we have a few things. Grant said a couple things about the small business committee. So we'll open up an application about that. We also have the DC networking planning committee. So we're gonna have a DC networking trip during spring break. This is not the committee who selects the people who will go on that, but just to plan it. So we need like 2 to 5 people to help give input on like what we should be doing and like that kind of stuff. So let John know if you would like to be on that. And then we also need people on the community service and social activity committee. So if you would like to shoot Graver a message or talk to her after the meeting, if you want to be on that committee. They do community service efforts, and then homecoming, yes, the parade and mingle, and various other things that we are in the works about, like mentor program, community at Dr. Highway. So you can talk to him about that.
Great, thank you. And then next is university standing committee report. I believe the only one that has met so far is JPAC. Is that correct? Okay, go ahead. So anyone who was on a committee so a lot of you received emails about getting nominated or you're currently in the process of scheduling meetings for the university standing committee. So this will be a time when you have those meetings that you can share what was discussed. Vice President Burke.
I'm really quick because it's tomorrow, but I just want to let everyone know I'm having it tomorrow, so next week. Oh, I'm on the post-publishing board, which is pretty fun. So at the end of the year, we get to be approve and interview the editor-in-chief, but other than that, we just spend a lot of time the budget and learning what's going on the business side.
Hello, everyone. So I sit on the environmental and ecology and conservation committee that's not actually called anymore. It's called sustainability committee. For those who don't know, we're starting the whole entire office of sustainability. If you have any input or want any information about it, please see me or what your says about anything.
She's not here, but Valerie and my veteran affairs sits on the JPAC committee. So does Jordan also, but she's on the first meeting. First meeting happened, mostly they just planned the JPAC to talk about that.
Any other committee reports? Okay, we're going to move on to executive officer reports. Okay, so my report is pretty quick this week. Just another reminder for seniors, homecoming court applications are due on Friday at 5 p.m. I learned from Kenzie Oliger in the CIC today that even if you were nominated for something, in order to actually be considered for it, you actually have to apply as well, in addition to. So share that with your friends, nominate friends that are seniors. Anyone can nominate. You don't have to be a senior to nominate. So if you know a particular senior that would be great, definitely do that.
When are the applications due?
Friday at 5 p.m. And if you literally just Google homecoming court, Ohio University, see it right there. Okay, in addition to that, I attended the President's Cabinet meeting, the first one in my term this Monday. A couple things were discussed. Particularly, they're talking about improving communications and marketing strategies for the university. We have a vacancy in that position right now, the vice president position. So they are working on trying to streamline that process. And then I was also given the opportunity to share with the President's Cabinet, which is comprised of Dr. Tina and a bunch of other administrators and VPs. So it's really great. But we got to share our strategic goals for the year for Senate, which was really exciting. And there were a lot of administrators that were excited about reaching out to us and collaborating. So that's very exciting as well. Yesterday, President Nellis gave his State of the University address that he gives every year. And Student Senate got a shout out for our work with sexual assault prevention, specifically with the Safety Act. So I wanted to just commend you all again on the work that you're all doing relating to lighting on campus. I will be reaching out to facilities again in the coming year. So if you have particular places on campus that you know are trouble spots for you, if you are like, this is so dark and I just want this to be a point of conversation, please send me an email or message me. We're continuing to get reports on the chief of staff, Freddie mentioned earlier. So just keep being really diligent and caring about each other, both for mental health reasons, sexual assault, all of those things. We're kind of getting into the grind of the year here, so please just continue to be student leaders, care about your Bobcat community, all of that. And that's the end of my report.
Okay, so on Friday, Jordan and I went to Towers, and we talked about the new dispatch
from OIT, Complete OUPD, Dr. Hill Jones was there from Dean of Students Office, someone from Safety and Risk Management, someone from Facilities Management. Was all of them. Yeah. So at the meeting, we discussed a lot of things, but I just wanted to say what we put as our must-have requirements for the Safety Act. And if there's anything that everyone here feels like isn't on this list and you feel is a must-have, come talk to me after the meeting or send me an email so that when we come to the next meeting, I can give those concerns. So it needs to be able to integrate with the dispatch service that UPD has. It needs to be ADA compliant. We want to do geofencing. We want there to be language support for international students, emergency text notification, some sort of safe walk thing that will help make people feel safer when they're walking home, and peer alerting capabilities. So I'm really excited to keep working on that and Jordan and other administrators that are helping bring this to campus. 3-week thing, but if you see someone who is rising above and doing really great work, we want to feature you. So we'll probably start that next week. Just wanted to put it on everyone's radar and get excited about it. That's the end of my report.
Thank you. Well, the treasurer gets the
Hello, everyone. So I love sharing. I think sharing is caring, but sharing hurts is not what we want to do. So I know everyone's being sick right now. I myself have been sick the past few days, and I'm sorry I'm not in the office all that much. We really don't need to be around right now. But please, sanitize the office. Make sure you clean up your work. I don't have the other things. Numbers. Okay, so for the Senate total, there's $25,011.08. Allocated, not spent, $13,517.46. Not allocated nor spent, $11,493.42. Stock total, $220,834.57. Spot, $141,005.02. And for U funds, $76,829.85. The numbers are too
Vice President Burke.
Yeah, I just forgot that I was supposed to give a commissioner report for someone, for Anna Ayers. So I'm just gonna give that to you all. So this is Anna Ayers' commissioner report. So, yeah, we'll just do it for this. So, SAC had their first bi-weekly meeting this past Sunday. They allocated approximately $3,700. This week, they also allocated $600 for new org grants. SAC has already had some very constructive conversations about SAC rules, precedents, and ways to best advocate on behalf of student orgs from a financial perspective. I want to give a shout out to Audrey Bull and Jaden McAdams. These two are new to SAC this year and have been absolutely crushing it. They have been really enthusiastic and teachable. I'm absolutely thrilled to have them on my team. That's the end.
Thank you, Vice President Burke. All right, team staff.
Well, I already kind of gave a little bit, so just another thing, if you want to be a mentor for our intern program, please let me know by Friday. Okay? Email, Slack message, anything. We'll do some really fun stuff with the interns. We kind of want to get that timeline rolling. So we want to know how many people want to be interns. And then I'm just going to deal with it.
Okay, so I'm starting a doodle poll for days that graduating Senate members can join me for their interviews. I'm specifying graduating Senate members because I specifically want people who are leaving, whether or not they're seniors or extra year. But if you've already interviewed with me and you're still a member of Senate, or if you're graduating, this is just meant for if you're leaving. I'll be inviting whoever's interested. Please see me after this meeting if you are, because I want to start planning for these interviews as soon as possible. I need to see Commissioners Afuni, Thomas, Raffis, Holtkamp, Arnold, Vice President Berg after the meeting. Super quick. It's going to take a second. I'm sure. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm striking the abstention from the vote to add Senate Resolution 1820 to the agenda. I forgot Commissioner Zimmerman attended the meeting, so thus my proxy position is invalid. I'm just striking the abstention from the meeting minutes. It's fucking it. Sorry, Councilman
Going
Klein.
to encourage PG language.
Oh,
in my voting.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I need to remove myself from some. Sorry, Mom.
All right, let's find out here.
Also, we are going into executive session, after the reports. I put it at the wrong side, so I'm gonna be like, back really quick, so when Todd finishes.
And we will explain what actually quick report. It'd be explaining to you what executive session is. So, all right, and speaking of which, we get your report.
Okay, so the panel, we don't really have a great deal to say because it's the beginning of the year and we've received like 3 resolutions and we only needed to vote one of them. So, that being said, for any of you who have questions or concerns about the way the Senate is supposed to function, I will be holding my office hours probably Wednesday afternoons and or Friday. So I'll get back to you with exact times because I haven't quite figured that out yet. That's everything that I have to say. Mr. Chief Justice, do you have anything to add? Okay, so that is the end of the panel's report.
Thank you very much. It's quite a report long. We're now going to move on to our advisors. We're not really advisors.
That's true.
Yeah.
No report.
So.
Just like my report. I'll submit my report. I have no report.
All right.
You
have a
I actually don't have a here. I had some
But we're not
lovely,
talking.
I had lovely meetings with people. They went great, but they were already.
Okay, and now for our real advisor.
All of us. Alright, so just to reiterate Maddie's point about homecoming court, homecoming nominations, I think it'd be awesome to stack that with the very qualified members that we have in this room. So please apply or nominate somebody. If you aren't a senior, you can nominate a senior. Do that. Do maybe someone in the Senate who's inspired you or who has lived out the 5 seats of Ohio. Think of something that like you could really put them on a platform with and just submit it, nominate them. If you do submit or nominate somebody, they will receive an email notification with everything that you said. So that's something nice that they get to kind of keep, I guess, I don't know. But it'll lift someone's day when they're not expecting it. So yes, homecoming apps. And the voice of homecoming is one of your advisors. Woo! So how exciting.
Nobody
But-
announced you, and then no one's judged.
Exactly. So applications do close Friday at 5, FYI. And then for those of you who might be traveling to the Ohio versus University of Cincinnati game, please be safe, have fun, and represent students, ourselves well, and the university. Hopefully we can see a win there. But other than that, have fun, be safe, and go Bobcats.
Go Bobcats.
Okay, so at this point in time, we mentioned that we are going to go into executive session. Just as a quick note of what this is, I have this nice formula information about it. In governing bodies in matters of personnel, we go into executive session to preserve the integrity and confidentiality of the matters at hand. Meaning that we will stop live streaming and then we will ask the press or any members who are not members of Student Senate to leave. And then also at this time, I will be designating a president for myself. So as presiding officer of this body, I temporarily delegate my power